Come on in. I want to show you something I think you're going to enjoy. The 80s. You know, the film and the fashion, the food, the music, of course. Nearly all the things that you guys had so much fun with back when, well, back in the days we all looked a little younger than we do right now. So, this week, it's 1980. An unforgettable year for a guy who looked just like me. Fame. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly high. You gotta love ambition.
It was basically The Sound of Music, but in Brooklyn, wasn't it? You know, they just sort of burst into song without prior notice the whole time.
All dancing, fame, I'm gonna live forever, and on tops of the New York taxis.
I wanted to go to stage, I wanted to dance on the top of cars in the street. I wanted to live that dream. Baby, you look at me. But it was always a bit low for me.
Do you know what it actually tugs at my heartstrings even now? I heard it on the radio a little while ago. Fame! And I was like, oh no, I guess that isn't excellent, but actually it is quite a good track.
I remember at the end of the song, I said, that's a terrible song, and that'll never be a hit. Boy, was I wrong.
It's my music. Lunatic stole my taste.
I'm going to live forever, I'm going to learn how to fly. But I don't think that's right, is it? Surely they didn't teach people how, A, how to live forever, and B, they taught them how to fly. That was pretty impressive. That's not a fame school. That's like a really, really amazing school. People will see me and cry, remember, remember, remember. I always think it's very funny that they used to be able to sort of dance in the street and put on big sort of open-air productions and get away with it.
Somehow at the time it didn't seem corny or contrived at all, because it was based on a real performing arts school.
It always happened in the canteen, didn't it? There would always be, flipping every lunchtime, somebody would be sitting there nicely, quietly having their sandwich, and then they go, you know, I'm really down about something this weekend. They go, don't be down like this, and then this huge dance routine would erupt.
The movie really is the embodiment of the students of performing arts, and there was a certain realism that the audiences really tapped into.
When I first visited the school, I couldn't believe, actually, that everywhere I looked, there was some kind of music going on. In the stairwell, there's a kid playing a violin, and then you turn another corner and there'll be a string quartet.
In doing the movie, it felt like I finally got into school. I was finally a student and finally a part of the school that I'd always wanted to be.
The next group of musicians can go to the 5th floor now, please.
I cast in New York, I cast in Los Angeles, I cast in Philadelphia. I just looked everywhere, really, for any kid who was half-talented. You know, musicians who could act, actors who could play musical instruments. 3,000 kids turned up for that, which is quite amazing.
Don't touch the rotary pot. What pot? The VCO. I got it set on sawtooth.
What was the guy with the curly hair that wrote the songs? Bruno, yeah. You always felt a bit sorry for him because he was a bit geeky, but he wrote lovely songs, so that was all right.
One instrument at a time will be quite sufficient.
I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Lee Crary, I found in a music school in Manhattan.
I sort of secretly knew that. I was like, well, the part's me. I mean, how could they cast anybody else?
Martelli! Bruno Martelli!
Bruno wanted to do things with synthesizers.
Who needs orchestras? You can do it all with a keyboard and an amp and enough power.
Always locking horns with Mr. Swarovski.
Sigmund Freud type, wasn't he? Very serious, Bruno, and he'd solve all the problems.
You're going to play all by yourself?
You don't need anybody else.
That's not music, Martelli. That's masturbation.
Next, please.
He doesn't go upstairs without filling in his name. Johnson, Leroy Johnson. Can we go up now?
When you think of fame, you know, you think of those dreadlocks, and you think of Gene Anthony Ray, Leroy Johnson.
Not going up until he checks his knife.
We found him, he was performing on a street corner in Harlem. I mean, that was like a week before we started shooting.
Leroy was an intense street dancer who was trying to learn some more balletic chops.
He was a poor black kid from the wrong side of town that had, you know, worked his hardest to get there, and once he'd got there, he was surrounded by a load of drama toffs.
Sometimes I wonder where I've been.
I wanted to be Coco. I was the Essex version of Coco, actually.
This role seemed so tailor-made for me. I'd never experienced that. It seemed like someone just sat down and wrote it for me, you know.
Out here on my own.
The movie, the TV series, and the chart hits turned the Kids from Fame into a worldwide phenomenon.
Out here on my own.
We've had loads of letters about the Kids from Fame, so we thought, why not show you a video? And what better than the single Friday Night? Here's Carlo Imperato as Danny.
I told him, don't ever put me in tights. That was it.
Friday night's gonna be alright, it's gonna be right, it's gonna be alright now, baby. Start shaking your hips, so baby, pucker your lips, cause I'm coming to see you soon. Watch out. They're coming. New York is coming in.
We arrived in London. When we got off the plane, there were thousands and thousands of people at the airport.
It's like we're having a big party.
A celebration.
Life is a celebration. Life is a celebration. Without you, I'm dying.
We all looked at each other and said, wow.
Everybody here loves fame, right? Is fame gonna live forever?
He just said to my mum, I want to do fame, I want to go to stage school. And it was all about fame.
It was so much more interesting than doing double maths at an all-girls school in Birmingham, wasn't it? It was just sexy, you just wanted to be there.
Now, baby, so get ready for Friday night.
You know, with pop music, your mind plays tricks on you. You're thinking 1980, that's the year of Blondie, the Police, New Wave. Well, wait a minute, who's buying all this stuff?
Ooh, up, side your head, say get bent inside your head. Everybody say oops.
WGAP.
Oops upside your head. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't matter. It was a fantastic fun track.
Say it loud. Jack and Jill went up the hill to have a little fun. Stu and Jill forgot a pill and now they got a son.
That Gap Band record would come on, and suddenly the floor before, they were all sitting on the floor.
Sort of rowing motion.
Yeah, sort of like they do at Henley, I think.
Something similar. Oops, up, side your head.
Sitting on the dance floor, what was that about?
What did it all mean? Where did it come from?
The first time we went to perform the song in Great Britain, everybody started sitting down, and I was freaking out. I was like, whoa, man. I was like, I had turned my back, and I was like, whoa, man, this is a trip. I was like, come on, everybody, come on, oops, up. And they was all getting in the floor, and I was like, what is going on? I turned around to my brothers, and I was like, this don't look good. I thought it was the coolest thing, that was the coolest dance. Do they still do it?
Every single mobile DJ in the country has that song in his box, and you can pretty much guarantee that he will play it sometime during the night.
Otto and DISCO would be their big hit, wouldn't it?
For dyslexic people, the perfect track.
DISCO, and I think they went through all the acronyms.
Discordant.
Insubstantial. Scary, presumably.
Educational.
One of the greatest party records of all time.
I tell you, this disco business is thirsty business. This is liquid gold, but, or rather, this is liquid gold.
Dance Yourself Dizzy came out in, I think, February 1980.
We were all sort of very surprised, you know. Dance Yourself Dizzy's gone to number such and such in the charts. What? You know, kept going up and up.
It's just about having a good time, really, which we did.
Dance Yourself Dizzy, not good advice. If you do feel dizzy, you know, you should sit it out. Go and get Cherryade from the bar.
It's these disco records that people are still dancing to parties all over the country.
My head is in a spin, my feet don't touch the ground. I can't get it in tune. Cut that bit out.
We went in to make some coffee in the little kitchenette at the studio. One of the guys came in that worked at the office and said, "Have you heard this song?"
Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
And when I first heard it, it was like Ray strumming on the guitar.
My head is in a spin, my feet don't touch the ground.
And I thought, oh, I don't know.
Because you're near to me, my head goes round and round.
I thought,
My knees are shaking, baby, my heart it beats like a drum.
It had a catchy chorus.
When it feels like I'm in love.
We said, well, we'll give it a go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, a very warm welcome for Kelly Marie.
And when I heard it, I mean, it was like, wow, that is brilliant.
My favourite at the moment is that young lady over there.
Not Kelly Marie. Oh.
I was a bit worried because I thought, is it just me that thinks it's brilliant?
Do you know what the #1 record is as it happens?
And I didn't want to say I thought it was brilliant in case they thought I was being, you know, I was excited about the song, you know. I knew that it was a hit song as soon as I heard it.
Right, Kelly Marie. That's the name.
Kelly Marie, Feels Like I'm in Love. Fantastic song.
And all I remember is the video, hanging around some London tourist attraction with two really unconvincing sailors. Did have a syndrome in it. Boop, boop.
My heart, it beats like a drum. It's the line in the song.
Boop, boop.
It was a syndrome. They actually tweaked it up a bit. And I don't care how many people say, oh, I hated it, I didn't play it. It put my name up in lights. It was a great song, and the song has stood the test of time.
You know, I've known some dysfunctional families in my time, but how's this for an all-American happy home? There's this millionaire single dad. He's got a teenage daughter. And his housekeeper dies in a tragic accident and leaves 2 little orphans. So this guy adopts the little fellas, and they all live happily ever after. Kind of. Well, you see.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born.
Man, do I remember Different Strokes? Different Strokes really sums up the whole of the 80s. This was how twisted we became.
Different strokes it takes, different strokes it takes, different strokes to move the world.
have these two, like, little poor black kids whose mother is the cleaner to this patrician white man.
Then she passed away, and on her deathbed, she asked Mr. Drummond to take care of her kids.
Interesting concept.
So Mr. Drummond decided to adopt us.
It was very funny, because it was like, used to watch it and think to yourself, that would never happen.
Different strokes to move the world, yes it does, it takes different strokes to move the world.
The first show, the opening scene was they opened the door up.
Aha! You're here.
And I was always the one that was apprehensive about everything. I was like, I don't know about it. We need to go back to where we're from and deal with those people because this place is wrong.
No, we don't belong in this place.
Gary Coleman was always like, no, this is weird and moved up in life. We're going to stay here.
Color TV, stereo, our own cook. Man, Willis, I think we died and went to heaven.
Different Strokes, I think, was memorable to me because it was my first glimpse of that amazing man, Gary Coleman.
In one of the happiest faces on network television this season, you'd swear he was about 37, really.
People at school said, oh, actually, you know, he's 45. And I believed it, because, you know, he did look quite odd.
Here's Gary Coleman.
He was quite clearly about 50.
Or is he a 36-year-old midget?
Let's put it this way. He wasn't as tall as you might expect him to be.
Are you really only 11?
Mm-hmm.
Gary had a kidney problem, and the medication he was taking stunted his growth. So even when he was 8 years old, he looked like he was 4.
It was almost like he had his own little franchise of being, you know, tiny little black man. He turned up on Buck Rogers, I think, once as a hyper-intelligent kid from the 20th century who was taken out of cryonic suspension in the 25th century. You'll never find that clip.
You have an appointment with the Science Council in 20 minutes, Mr. President.
I wish you wouldn't call me Mr. President. Makes me feel like I'm 500 years old.
I'd really like to see Different Strokes again right now. I'd really like to see Arnold and Willis, just how they really did interact and whether the programme actually is as benign and funny as it felt like back then.
Be glad to. Here, let me have this, dear.
I've never seen a black goldfish before.
That's okay. He never saw a rich white man before either.
The key line in the show was always,
what you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, what you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, yeah.
What you talking about, Willis?
that line was created by a mistake. And it was supposed to be, what are you talking about, Willis? But the typo said, what you, C-H-A, talking about.
What you talking about?
So he went, what you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about?
Everyone just cracked it.
What you talking about, Angela?
And then it became a thing that drove us nuts because it would be in every single show.
What you talking about, Adelaide?
What was just awful about it was the moral sanctity.
You know something? I always wanted a son. And now I got 2 of them. I'm a very lucky man.
This white guy would sit down and teach these black kids what his kind of kindly millionaire way of seeing things was.
You're going to go to the best schools, the finest colleges, where you can learn about things like art and music.
We had an opportunity to go to Mr. Drummond's old school, and he was like, I want you guys to go to my old alma mater. And we're like, oh, God, we don't want to go there.
If I went to a school looking like this in Harlem, I'd get mugged by the principal.
So horribly sort of manufactured and kind of, twee.
That's right, Willis. Toys and money ain't family. Family is love and caring.
Former child star Gary Coleman has been in court suing his mother over money mismanagement.
His parents had rigged it so that all the money he earned, because they thought he was going to die so young, they got to keep all his money. I've heard. It may not be true, I don't know.
Well, there's a famous curse of Different Strokes. All the kids, I think, have come to some sort of grief.
Well, my life just had to do with I got involved with drugs. And emotionally, I just wasn't ready to deal with life itself.
And Kimberly, of course, the saddest story, I can't remember her name, but she became a porn star and then died.
Gary Coleman couldn't find work, became a security guard. He collected model trains.
Gary is the winner, and the prize is he gets to keep the train. How about that?
I have nothing but great memories about Diff'rent Strokes. I'm about that. It was a show that, you know, it made a lot of people happy, you know, and I see it every day when I'm walking down the street. People come to me and say, hey, man, I love that show. It made me nice to run home and see it. So that's, you know, makes you realize the show did its job that it was, you know, meant to do.
Different strokes to move the world.
These monsters would like to tell you something. Right, boys, off you go. What they're trying to say is they just love Smith's new Monster Munch. Hunks of crunchy snack that come in monster-sized bags. Monster Munch. Bags of snack for only 7p.
You know, I like to think I'm as greedy as the next guy. But in 1980, nobody could keep up with this little yellow fella.
That maze, when you're being chased down a maze and you've got to use quick thinking to get out, I mean, that is a cerebral thing.
You've got them coming this way and you've got them coming that way. Now, which way do you go?
You've got to work out how, you know, back across, in and out, down the alleyway, come back out the other end again.
Go now. Or stay and get noshed.
Wonderful. Really, really original.
The thing that I really remember about it is the name Namco. Waka, 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 waka. It's like Acme was, you know, when you see an old cartoon, but Namco kind of sum up the early electronic games, you know, from the early 80s. Pac-Man by Namco.
I got your picture.
はい、私ピンボールが大好きで
I liked pinball and I thought I'd join the company which made pinball machines. But the company didn't make pinball machines, so I was quite disappointed. But then I thought, why not make something like a combination between pinball and a video game?
ということで
Mostly you'll find it inside arcades, the most popular electronic game ever.
Before Pac-Man, the majority of the games were space themes.
Pac-Man was a man who ate spots.
ちょうどランチタイムに
One lunchtime, I ordered a pizza, and as I was eating it, I saw that if you take out one slice, it becomes a Pac-Man shape. And I decided, okay, let's use this shape.
No sex, no drugs, no wine, no women, no fun.
Pac-Man is really, really straightforward. You're in a maze which has 240 dots. You control a little yellow eating mouth. There are 4 ghost monsters there of different colours and they chase after you. Normally they'll kill you, but if you eat the big dots in the corner, the ghost monsters change to a dark blue colour.
When you eat this, Pac-Man and the monsters swap sides, so Pac-Man is able to eat the monsters instead.
And then cherries came in at some stage as well. I don't know why that was. I was surprised that managed to sort of capture the public's imagination in the way it did.
$6 billion got fed into video game slots last year. That's double what Americans spent to go to the movies.
Its simplicity, its innocence, its ordinariness absolutely captivated our imagination. It was a craze that just swept the country, in fact the world.
The citizens of Brookhaven have overwhelmingly demonstrated their opposition to the massive proliferation of video games.
Pac-Man has become a national phenomenon. The little yellow creature is showing up everywhere.
It's the sound of Pac-Man, and lately a growing number of residents have been skipping their naps to play.
Do you remember the ones in the pubs? With the table so you could put your beer down?
But it's not a table, it's a computer game and you put your money in.
It's fantastic because you couldn't concentrate on anything else.
Just sit for hours and hours making this thing go.
She's having a heck of a good time. If she wasn't here to be in her room, why, groaning.
In addition to the games, there are spin-offs.
Pac-Man cups,
T-shirts,
key holders,
neckties,
duvets,
beer mugs,
piggy bank,
tote bags,
the chewing gum,
pillows,
pencils,
balloons,
stickers,
board games,
erasers,
books,
mugs,
hats.
He's very soft and cuddly.
It's the days of Star Wars. It's the days of Battlestar Galactica. Science fiction, every kid. I was really excited about science fiction. Love science fiction, still do. Imagine my excitement at the prospect of a peak time ITV show about a robot. What do we get, though?
Metal Mickey had more in common with Ted Rogers than Buck Rogers. Like a sort of modern version of Dusty Bin.
A very bad robot, the kind of thing that they thought was really high-tech and sci-fi.
The scrap ends of the Smash robots.
Metal Mickey was Britain's answer to R2-D2, but the man who brought it to the screen was very American.
So Metal Mickey. Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees directed Metal Mickey. The cutest thing around is Metal Mickey. That actually wouldn't surprise me because they're weird, the Monkees. Michael Nesmith's mother invented Tipp-Ex.
But I don't understand how one of the Monkees could end up making a rather crap British comedy series.
The story goes that a gentleman named John Edward built this robot. And it talked like that, and it could make, and you could make it talk and do things and say things, anything you wanted to. Metal Mickey! It was unbelievable. When this thing came alive, when John went in the booth, and all of a sudden Metal Mickey lit up, you know, went... Hello, how are you? I'm fine. Hey, baby, how you doing? Baby, want a boogie? It was unbelievable.
I don't believe this thing can do anything. I mean, it's a dud. It's a dummy.
We all met up in the foyer of London Weekend with this robot, and it was just like, this will never work.
It's a metal defective. It's an iron deficiency.
Mickey Dolenz would go, no, don't worry, it'll work on the night, it'll work on the night. And he's so Hollywood.
It was the most amazing bit of puppeteering, you know, that I've ever witnessed to this day. It just was phenomenal.
Come on, give us a kiss. Computer control to robot. Exterminate both.
You know, I'd say, okay, Mickey, places. Right, okay, I'm on my way. You know, you'd roll over there.
I am a metallic moron.
Somebody else would go, Mickey, and both of us would go, yeah? Yeah.
I am so foolish.
I've written for other puppets like Basil Brush and Roland Rat, and the same thing that applied to them applied to Metal Mickey, and that is, you can make the star say anything you like.
When you stand like that, I can see right up your nose.
In fact, he even had a catchphrase, which was boogie boogie.
I can do it, boogie boogie, I can do it.
Boogie, boogie, boogie.
Boogie boogie.
Every time he said boogie boogie, we were all supposed to dance. Well, I wasn't knocking that straight on the head because I don't dance.
Boogie boogie.
Dear Jim, please could you fix it for me to meet Metal Mickey for the day? Thank you, Stuart Finn, age 7.
Arms above that then, guys and gals.
Have you never seen Metal Mickey? Fantastic.
Children in the village where I lived started shouting boogie boogie at me in the street.
Boogie boogie, I love to boogie.
That's when I realised that people were watching it.
Boogie boogie.
You know who was on Metal Mickey? I bet you don't know. It was Robbie Coltrane.
He played a huge gay hairdresser.
Don't ever show that episode. He'll kill me.
Have you sorted the scissors, polished the mirrors, arranged the colorants, folded the overalls, cleaned the combs, counted the pins, hung up the hairnets, tidied those magazines, arranged the rinses and put out the rubbish?
Yes.
Super.
But no one ever noticed that the fact that this robot comes in to help out.
Oh, that thing gave me a fright.
I mean, just outrageous stuff.
So look out! Look out!
The last I heard, he was in a garage somewhere.
I feel as if a great mind has been taken off my weight.
Metal Mickey is now retired, and he's living quietly in the East End in a skip.
He's Metal Mickey.
Mother.
So what were all you boys and girls wearing on your feet all those years ago? Well, 1980, kickers were everywhere.
Kickers had come out of France, and they were worn by
geography teachers at the same time as they were worn by a few casuals. At the same time, they were worn by school kids. And so they were never really cool in 1980, but they were everywhere.
Les deux pieds dans mes kickers, j'ai l'impression d'avoir des ailes.
They look like the shoes that Dutch kids should wear, rather than kind of British kids who are interested in being stylish and being serious.
They're a bit orthopaedic in a way. They're kind of an orthopaedic desert boot, if you must, with a cleated sole that picks up dog poo.
Solide et confortable. Et comme toutes les kickers, elles sont gravées kickers.
Now, the first traditional kicker that came out was either red or navy blue.
Navy with sort of the white stitching. The red had sort of cream stitching, and then you had the white ones which had the red stitching.
And I remember having a pair of pink kickers, which I just thought were absolutely the most fantastic pair of shoes I'd ever seen. You know, you really, really wanted them in a way that kids want trainers now.
Everything had to have a label on. If it didn't have a label on, the kids didn't want it.
I feel really guilty about almost bankrupting my parents with my desire to have the right kickers.
I mean, one particular time in Deptford, my colleague and I, there was only the two of us, we stayed there till sort of 10 o'clock at night. The shop was full, they was outside queuing on the pavement. When the delivery did arrive, as you opened up the box, the size that come out, you were just sort of shouting at people, like, who takes this size, who takes that size? Half of them didn't even try them on. And then you were waiting for the next delivery, fingers crossed, you know, on a prayer for Wednesday, hoping that kickers could get them made quick enough and get us another lot over.
Came with embossed on the side the kickers.
And the little tag on one kicker's red and one kicker's green was to sort of show the children years ago which was left and which was right, but it was actually port and starboard to do with boats.
In a way, that's the kind of thing that made them sort of special. Kickers whirled away from other shoes.
It was very important that you wore the free keyring that you got with the kicker on the lacing of the kicker.
They didn't think they were real kickers unless they had this flower on the side.
The tags were like leather cloverleaf kind of symbols, which I suppose authenticated the fact that they're real kickers. They weren't fake kickers, they're your kickers.
You go into a shop, try on the kickers, pocket these little leather things, and people wouldn't think it was stealing because it was like something that most people would throw away. So you'd see these kind of cooler or even sometimes harder looking kids walking around, and they'd have like 10 little pieces of leather hanging from their shoes, and usually on one foot.
If you're 11 years old or 12 years old, you can either wear the shoes that your mum has taken you to the shoe shop to buy, or you can wear a pair of kickers. You decide.
On New Year's Day in 1980, the music stopped. Happy, smiling rock stars put down their guitars and plugged in their synthesizers. And all of a sudden, things got pretty darn serious.
We got into it because we loved electronic music and we thought everything else was rubbish. And we were egotistical enough to think we could do better.
I always thought that the synth thing was even simpler than punk. Punk at least had to learn 2 chords or 3 chords. We didn't. We used tape recorders and we would use synths that you could set up like for a week in advance so that when you finally press the one button, it sounds really impressive.
I think one of the biggest shocks was the discovery, after we'd been into German electronic music and all the weird crap we could find, that maybe there were other people who'd been listening to the same stuff.
Their manager rang us up and asked how we were doing what we were doing. And, you know, we had the tape recorder on stage and everything, and suddenly there was OMD.
Oh, I loved the Human League. The Human League was fantastic. I am a real purist. I loved the very early Human League, when everything was about alienation and science fiction.
Faced with the choice, what would you say?
He was clearly confused, wasn't he? Because you had one
It was like a lady on one side and a bloke on the other. And I suppose in moments of leisure, he could have done a Harry Worth and gone to a mirror and been a complete lady and then been a complete gentleman, if he wanted to.
We wanted anyone who'd seen us on TV or anywhere to be able to walk in a record shop and go, I want the record by the guy with the hair on one side.
Human League were just starting to break through. Summer of 1980, they did the cover of the Gary Glitter song. And pretty well, exactly the same time, like Orchestral Manoeuvres. Their album came out.
They were like Human League people who went to shop at garden centres.
Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark come from Liverpool and were first recorded on Tony Wilson's excellent Factory label.
It was very clear that they should be pop stars and that by putting a record out we'd get them moving in that direction.
First time we get on national TV, do we do our singles? No, we do the two weirdest bloody tracks we have on the album. We were on with the other studio band, who was ZZ Top. Bunch of middle-aged Texan beardy guitar crap, you know. But apparently, they loved us.
They had a lovely dance, didn't they? Like a military beat.
Oh, trainee teacher dance.
And his son sort of went like that.
Tom Baker as Doctor Who, having electric shock treatment.
Very eye-catching.
I mean, I think the Human League and us were definitely sort of part of the first wave, and they started before us, and I think we're a bit pissed off that they thought we copied them.
They were the other group beside the Thompson twins that I just thought they are copying us. And, you know, we had the tape recorder on stage and everything, and suddenly there was OMD.
And then, of course, we turned the tables on the Human League because we had the hit before them.
Suddenly there was this sort of cold period, and there were suddenly a lot of other synth things going around. We got disillusioned. We were really worried.
They split into two then, and the Human League became preposterously successful, didn't they? And got Susan and Joanne in that they found dancing on a dance floor in Sheffield.
He just came up and said, I'm Philip Oakey from the Human League. I don't know if you know, but the original group split up. We saw you and your friend dancing. We thought you looked good together. And we wondered if you'd be interested. And I was like, oh, all right, try and really go.
At the time, all the papers did think it was a press made-up story, you know, a PR thing, because it was weird.
He says that he was looking for one tall black girl. Got two little white ones instead. God, poor thing.
How about this one? It's the Human League. Thank you.
Joanne and I were both at school, both in different classes. And my mum came to the door and said to the teacher, I'm sorry, I've got to take our Susan out of school.
I was actually in, I think it was an English lit lesson. No, it wasn't. It can't have been. No, it was a communication studies lesson. Saw Susan's mum out of the door going, I need to talk to you. And so it's like, oh, right, what's the matter? She said, Philip's just phoned me up. You've got to go down to London to go on top of the pops.
The whole point was that these were two Sheffield girls off the dance floor who weren't pitch perfect, who didn't look that great.
I think it was the triumph of ordinariness, wasn't it? These were the kind of girls you would meet if you went out to Cinderella Rockefellers in Bolton or wherever on a Saturday night.
You used to do this silly dance like this, and then it sort of, mine sort of slowly progressed, and I used to wave my arms up.
Well, bold, really, arms all over the place and swinging and gestures, but they were good, they were in time, and they did them themselves.
And this week at number 1, in Top of the Pops studio, on Top of the Pops, the Human League and Don't You Want Me?
For 2 albums when we were obscure and thinking we'd failed, I honestly used to get letters from people at Oxford University about the lyrics and so on.
You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar.
Dan and Susan in, we had one failure single, and that was it. We had hits, and it just totally changed.
We showed to people that anyone could do it. We were genuinely two schoolgirls who had no aspirations whatsoever to be in either the music business, entertainment, anything like that. The only reason we went on tour with the Human League was because we thought we could get a few weeks off school, and we did it for a laugh.
In 1980, the pin-up of the year for girls wasn't a teen idol. It wasn't a sports star. It wasn't a Hollywood hunk. No, it was a sad man with a painted white face, a silly hat, and a frilly shirt with big buttons. It was Piero.
He walked into my life.
Get like cushions, and I think you could get them like on moons, you know, that you could hang from your ceiling.
The bedspread, and the face, like the china faces. That is so tacky. Everybody at ballet had them. I suppose they were all sort of a bit posh and nice.
Mine's about this big, and it's got a white china face, black trousers, a white smock with black frill round, little black satin cap, and a tear. I always have a tear.
Piero, traditionally from the Commedia dell'arte in Italy, was the unrequited lover. And it's from that the idea of the tearful clown, the tearful Piero comes, that was on so many of the different images that were around at the time.
They were kind of sensitive and girly and a bit classical. I think probably if you had one, you probably thought that you were quite mature. Your mum probably told you that, you know, if you had a Piero, that you'd probably have it for a long time and it would be something that you should pass on to your grandchildren.
That is awful. Whoever is responsible for Pieros should make themselves known.
I think the Piero doll was a David Bowie sort of a thing, wasn't it? That he was looking for an image, and that's what he was doing for Ashes to Ashes.
He couldn't go out and out and be a new romantic because he'd been so many things in the past and he couldn't jump on the bandwagon. But one way of doing it was to be a Piero.
They got a message from the action man. I'm happy, hope you're happy too.
With new romanticism, I was less frightened of putting makeup on my face. I was one of those that used to go down to the nightclubs in tailcoats and lots of eyeliner.
I'm not too keen on men in makeup anyway, but I always hated that look. There's some sort of, you know, poncy drama student in a stripy shirt going, or crying, and you just think, oh, I'll give you something to cry about.
The eyes would have to be strong, with a little tear dropping down, bit of rouge on the cheeks, big flouncy shirt, and a hat like a white dunce's hat.
Ashes to ashes, funk to funky. We know Major Tom's.
It's a cold winter's night. The wind is howling and the rain is beating on the window panes. An old man sits in a big leather chair by a roaring fire and begins to tell his tale of, well, let's just say, it was never quite what you expected.
This is a story about those school days of mine.
Kind of a sophisticated programme.
And it was on a little bit late, so you had to sort of try and cajole your parents into letting you stay up to watch it.
Slightly adult and slightly mysterious.
Do you want 6 with your dressing gown on or 4 with it off? The prefects used to say to us down there in the changing room, late at night.
There's always something to look forward to before sort of having to get ready for school the following morning.
And for once, I have not made anything up. It's all true.
It was good dancing at the beginning. That was nice.
Now you see, who didn't do that dance when they were at college? Everyone just thought that was hilarious. You could make a whole room full of people fall about laughing, going, da, 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 da.
Who was she?
She's slightly naked and doing this shimmery kind of dance.
I suspect she probably was naked.
Well, it looks as if I am, so they can use their imagination, can't they?
As an 8, 9-year-old boy, that was... Even I could see that was quite an exciting image.
Tales of the Unexpected. And the unexpected is the girls have got no clothes on in the opening sequences.
In fact, I was wearing about 3 coats of white grease paint and a white body stocking, which wasn't the most comfortable of things to wear.
The episode I remember most is this episode about royal jelly.
Royal jelly. Royal jelly.
Royal jelly.
I'd never heard of the stuff. The shop told me it had magical properties, and it undoubtedly has.
I do remember that we had Timothy West, of course, who was the beekeeper, who never wore a net when he was attending to his bees.
I know where you've been.
I think he ate a great deal of royal jelly.
I think Mr. Taylor looks a little bit like a bee himself.
And after a while, he started to notice his arms became more hairy, and he started putting on slight weight. Getting a bit chunkier kind of around the middle.
You took it.
What happens is after a few weeks of taking royal jelly,
Made me feel marvellous.
the man turned into a bee.
I do remember Tales of the Unexpected. I remember it being absolutely rubbish. Even as a kid, I was like, I expected that. There's no surprise there. Brilliant, you know. Oh, brilliant, that's what's happened. She's dead. Oh, he's turned up. Fantastic. There was no surprise.
Towards the end, they weren't that unexpected, were they? They obviously kind of ran out of unexpected ideas. Oh, I don't know, what's unexpected? If a bus turns up.
I was quite excited when I was chosen to be in The Boy Who Talked with Animals, an episode of Tales of the Unexpected, because it was something we always used to watch at school. Spent a lot of time trying to guess where they'd film it. It was set in Jamaica, I think, so would they send us to the Caribbean? You know, it had to be somewhere warm. I don't think we'd quite reckoned on it being Cornwall. Plastic palm trees blew over, the beach hut fell down, the extras all got hypothermia. I think it was the most expensive episode of Tales of the Unexpected they ever made.
I know it's out of fashion and a trifle uncool.
We've got to drive into town, but I'll be back by 5 o'clock. Right?
The Boy Who Talked with Animals was played by me, which was rather ironic, because I not only wasn't very fond of animals, I was also allergic to animals. But, never mind.
On Echo Beach, I watch the sun go down.
On holiday in the Caribbean, a turtle
It's a turtle!
is beached.
Stand well back, please.
And all the locals decide whether to sort of turn it into a soup or a table or something.
We'll put it smack in the middle of the living room. Now, how does that grab you?
Bernie, that'll be fantastic. Hey, don't you just love him?
The boy objects violently to this.
No, Daddy! Don't let them down! Don't let him go! It actually floats, Denzel.
Of course it floats. Use your head, baby.
Please forgive us.
At the end of the episode, the boy is discovered to be missing and has run away. They don't know where.
You always could see it coming a mile off.
Final shot is a fisherman at sea who sees the boy floating out to sea on the back of the turtle. The fiberglass turtle sank to the bottom of the sea, and as far as I know, it's probably still there.
You know you've arrived when you're allowed to go to the fun fair on your own, but nothing could prepare you for what happened in 1980.
Everyone was talking about theme parks, and there was this very exciting place, Alton Towers, that was getting talked up big style.
You must come to Alton Towers. This is it. Biggest thing that's happened in entertainment in this country this century.
And this is what they're all waiting for.
I had trouble sleeping, certainly the night before, so I was up, I think I was up about 4 o'clock in the morning.
The corkscrew, said to be the biggest of its kind in the world.
They had the gates that you'd have at Disneyland. They're exactly the same gates. You got through the other side, and it was basically a bloke in an overcoat with a dog and a balloon, and one ride.
And the first in the world to include 2 complete loops.
To see this twisted structure, this track going upside down, you know, you've never seen anything like it before.
This is the moment of truth. I'm petrified. Ooh. Ooh. Whose idea was this?
You know that once that bar's down and clicks, there's no going back.
We're now being pulled up to the highest point, some 85 feet.
You get this clanking feeling going up slowly, this enormous ramp.
You could almost count how many clicks there were as you went up.
And then the clanking stops. It became a national event to go to the Corkscrew at Alton Towers. It was something that everyone had to do.
One of the problems with big parks is they're so spaced out, they don't always get a big atmosphere going. They're not playing loud music, they've not got flashing lights, they tend to close before it's dark anyway. You still need to go back to those travelling fairs for those sort of things.
They used to come to our village at the Miners' Picnic, and they were just, it was the most exciting thing.
You'd walk past the village green, there'd be nothing there. When you come home from school 6 hours later, there'd be a whole fairground that's just arrived and set up.
I remember spending a lot of my youth in fun fairs because they seemed a fairly kind of, you know, exciting, loud, dangerous place to be.
For those who are not old enough to go into a nightclub, this was the nearest you could get. All the rides had flashing lights, they had the pumping music and things. The only thing that was missing, obviously, was the dance floor. Here we go now, super fast ride.
They seemed fantastically sort of dangerous as well, and, you know, full of tattooed people.
I mean, you only had to sort of look around at the people running the fair, who are basically never much older than you, who seem to already have about 5 or 6 children.
And the blokes with big swallow tattoos on their neck and spider cobwebs on their face.
When you worked out that they were obviously the same people that were maintaining the equipment, the whole thing became rather exciting.
You'd always try and give them the right change because you're never really sure if you're going to get the right money back if you gave them too much.
And the ride would start, and you think, am I going to get my change? And they'd leave it till the absolute last possible moment, and they'd kind of dodge all the flying cars and everything just to, if you were lucky, give you your change.
I was always a big waltzer girl. Used to get loads of boys that stood around the outside of the waltzer, and you sort of go on the waltzer with all this sort of like, oh look, I'm just a little girlie, and just get spun really, really fast.
Spin. It was always mixed. Did you always get that? Yeah, spinner. Spin the weedy one with the squinty eye.
But the more people that were on the waltzer, the faster it went.
And the scream if you want to go harder, and you'd always sort of like bat your eyes. And you'd be wearing so much poison perfume that when you were spun on the waltzer, you just want to throw up.
You know, in 1980, it really wasn't about what you wore. It was about who you wore. I mean, getting the label right wasn't a matter of life and death. No, it was much more important than that.
You wouldn't want to draw a crocodile in your art lesson, but you'd sit there doodling during Latin or something and draw a perfectly formed Lacoste crocodile.
There were certain labels like Ticini,
which everyone thinks is a T with a circle round it. Isn't the circle round, it's the S, it's the Sergio, isn't it? S-T, Sergio Ticini.
Or Tacchini, I never know how to pronounce that.
Tacchini, Ticini, tomato, tomato.
1 month it could be Pringle and you had to have a Pringle, the next month it could be Lacoste.
For scally lads like me and all my mates, it was a serious issue, you know.
How much was your jacket? £35. £35? And it was a big deal. My grandmother, who had a bit of money, bought me, as a birthday present, a Kappa padded one, and it was £65. And that was twice the price of an expensive jacket. And that, a rumour went around the school that I'd nicked my nan's credit card and bought this jacket. And that, in itself, made me famous in my school, just because I had a Kappa jacket.
If you didn't have the right gear on, if you didn't have the right gear available to go out, you didn't go out. And that was all there was to it.
So where did this obsession start? Well, it all began on the football terraces.
think the key sort of significant thing was Liverpool becoming very successful as a club.
A lot of their fans would be going abroad, appropriating types of street casual wear never seen in the UK. People are going, wow, where can we get hold of gear like this?
1980 was a bit of a breakthrough year. I think that's when the rest of the country really cottoned on to what had been happening. And by the end of that season, that had kind of mutated into this sort of fledgling thing that we all refer to as casuals now, but never had a name then because it was genuinely from the street.
They were called all sorts of different things across the country, I think. Casual, soul boys, but we called them Perry boys. They had side parting like that, and it flipped over one eye, and they used to walk like that, so it was all over one side like that.
You weren't allowed to see more than one eye, and you had to be constantly just kind of doing the old Phil-Oakey flick it out the way.
Casuals are the people who started the logo revolution, and at the time you had to really seek out labels, so it was quite subversive, and they were wearing these kind of logos as kind of a tribal thing.
If you didn't have that look, you couldn't hang around with us, and if you looked different from us, we're looking to have a go at you as well.
Probably the biggest crime at the time was to go down the Emlyn Hughes, Billy Beaumont, question of sports casual type thing. There was lads there in pink polo shirts worn with yellow and blue Argyle sweaters over the top.
If you didn't have a Pringle jumper, then who will wear you, basically?
I suppose, you know, if you look at them pictures, everyone looks a bit like Jimmy Tarbuck or, you know, the two Ronnies.
There was a horrible period when it looked like Val Doonican chic was going to take over.
Whilst at the time, you know, casuals were subversive, they probably didn't know what they went on to create, and they went on to create the label mania of the 80s and 90s, where people would buy a CK shirt just for the logo, and that is a real shame, and they contributed towards that unknowingly.
In 1980, one word sent dogs fleeing in terror, and one woman sent dog owners diving for cover. The word? Sit. The woman? Barbara Woodhouse.
Well, I'd never heard of Barbara Woodhouse until I received this letter one day, and it read, "I know you realise animal programmes are popular because for the umpteenth time you are showing sheepdog trials. But from the dozens of people who write to me and say, when are you going to have a series on television training dogs your quick method, I feel you're missing out on something that would draw an enormous audience."
On this series, I propose to teach all you and the viewers my method of training dogs.
Change your heart.
Barbara Woodhouse, whether she knew it or not, was at the time the first front person with background. She wasn't a hired hairdo. She was somebody who knew about her subject, and she wasn't in the least self-conscious. Her delivery was absolutely naturalistic, and she didn't care whether the camera was there or not.
Hello, I'm Barbara Woodhouse.
You could see the magic. You can see the dog that's barking and spinning and confused. And within seconds, literally, the dog is looking up at her adoringly going, "Thank God, somebody who knows what they're doing."
And everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime.
Well, my dog was a scruffy mongrel type. No one knew what he was. Heinz 57 we called him.
Come on, Skipper, walkies. Come on. Wait.
There was an old lady with a pig.
Come on, Fifi, walkies. Come on. Come on, Fifi, come on.
I think there was a man with a boxer dog.
A little jerk, Mr. Boxer. Very good.
Young man with an Alsatian.
Don't let the Alsatian tread on the peak.
A man with a Doberman, I think.
Now, you're rather fidgety, Mr. Chambers. Can you sort of calm yourself?
I don't think we had any idea what we were letting ourselves in for.
He's slightly nervous, I believe, of people.
Pretty soon I thought she was mad.
If he's nervous with me on being jerked, I shall jerk him all the harder.
She was a very sure person. She was very secure in her thoughts and what she did, and she didn't suffer fools too gladly.
Well, today's lesson, of course, is the sit.
Sit. It's not sit. Sit.
To make a dog sit, first of all, you've got to learn the right signal and the right tone of voice. Now, watch. I say it's in action 2. Sit. Right up to the shoulder, very smartly.
Sit.
Sit.
ta.
You don't say "ter," you say "t."
Sit!
Sit.
Sit!
No, that's very weak.
Sit!
Sit.
It took over the vernacular there. It was sit, and everybody...
Sit.
Sit.
That's better.
Sit.
He's watching her on the telly. Oh, brilliant.
Sit.
And it became a thing you'd actually do to your mates, you know. You'd meet them in the pub and you'd go, sit!
Barbara Woodhouse believes in training the dog owner first, don't you, Barbara?
Oh, yes, always. And you.
I want you all to say together the ditty. Throw the hands forward, jerk and let go. Splendid.
My girl's mad at me.
When she gave a command, she meant it. It was very clear.
Make them sit when I say hold. Gosh, I shan't enroll you in the army.
Wait. The T words. You know, stop it. Leave it. She established those words.
Why can't she see?
Now tell him to wait. Wait.
I said wait without really pronouncing my T's.
Once more, dear, you haven't really got that wait, that spit.
No, you've got to say wait. And you've got to spit it out.
Spit. I want to feel something.
So I went wait.
Wait. Oh, splendid. Shall we just go a little way back and do it again?
She wasn't a person that was used to for people saying no to her.
She was this almost canine Reich Marshal, would order these dogs about.
Sit. Stay.
But it was much more interesting to watch her order the owners about.
Line up very close, facing me, please, but not on that wet patch there.
Mr. Wilkins, face your dog.
You didn't give the sit signal quick enough, did you? Sit, bang, you see?
Don't let him be a leg cleaner. Face your dog, man.
Well, that wasn't a very creditable performance, was it?
She used to call the people by their dogs' names.
Shorten your lead, Mr. Doberman, so you can put it round your leg.
Mr. Snippets or Mr. Jumbo.
A little bit quicker, Mrs. Black Labrador.
She certainly didn't call me Miss Mongrel or anything like that.
Peter, would you like to please tell us who is the favourite lady on television?
And the winner is Barbara Woodhouse. Barbara Woodhouse.
She just became a massive celebrity and everybody knew her name.
Back again, you'll be getting sick of me, won't you?
Well, I enjoyed your photograph.
Did you? Oh,
Very
good.
nice indeed.
Oh, thank you.
She was almost more famous in America than she was here.
Sit. Yes. What? Yeah. Stand straight up, you're a big man to him. Walkies! Walkies! Oh, yes, of course I remember all that. Now, stiff arm. Down. Down. You've really got to spit it out to begin with.
I didn't have as much theatre training as you did, obviously.
Most of you already know that with a little love and compassion, any puppy will grow up to be a cuddly little bundle of joy.
I think Barbara typified what Americans think of the English.
Stop and nonsense taught by charlatans and learned by bloody twits.
Proper shoes and proper skirt and her sweater and her lead and collar and get on with it. We're going to go train dogs and have a grand time about it.
You raise a dog the same way you would raise a child, with simple or authoritative commands. Lay down!
You know, if it doesn't want to walk, you just give it a slight jerk.
Okay, here we go.
Call it a boiler suit, call it a cat suit, call it a jumpsuit. In 1980, the future arrived, and it came all in one.
1980 was the time of Sheena Easton and the inimitable Sheena Easton fashion of what could only be described as boiler suits.
He wakes and says hello, turns on the breakfast show. She fixes coffee while he takes a shower.
I had the best catsuit in the world. It was black, obviously, lycra.
I think I had some black ones. I had red.
Orange boiler suits.
Orange velour with a white plastic belt.
Pink boiler suits.
And terrible hair. Boy, did I look ugly in some of the stuff. I wore some terrible things. The fashion police could have got me. I would have been put away for life for most of the stuff I wore in the 80s.
I miss those. I was very keen on those jumpsuits, and I think that, funnily enough, they were very flattering for a girl.
This outfit is also from Kay's catalogue. The jumpsuit is in 100% cotton with elasticated waist and patch pockets.
Long sleeves, long feet, and a big belt that was sort of hanging off my hips.
It's suitable for both outdoor and indoor wear.
I used to wear lots of thick jewellery with it, sort of like, I used to have a big, thick pearl necklace, and I used to have it round my wrist, and huge earrings.
The clothes are comfortable and practical, but they're also colourful and well coordinated.
I was in a car crash when I was at Oxford, and the thing I really minded, I was quite seriously hurt, the thing I really minded is they had to cut me out of my jumpsuit, my Miss Selfridge jumpsuit. My mother said, you know, how are you? And I just said, you've got to phone up Miss Selfridge and go and get me this jumpsuit.
They were easy to move in and they were easy to get off. Jump it, that's why they were called jumpsuits, and jump back in. I won't be seen dead in one now.
Well, let's have a look at some. Now, I mean, that looks like a joke to me. It's a boiler suit.
My mum had a boiler suit, and the boiler suit was a fashion lie, because it was for people who didn't work on boilers or do anything that you would wear a boiler suit for.
Remarkably unfeminine. I mean, it's all straight and baggy.
So my mum certainly wasn't a mechanic. She didn't work in the boiler room of a ship.
Just add a stretchy belt. Instant shape.
It came out of people working in garages in an overall, but kind of making it glammy in electric blue and gold and then wearing it with a pair of high heels. You know, women could understand that, and it was the first case of playfulness really coming into fashion, I think.
You're in it, you're fully dressed, you haven't got to think what jumper you're going to go with, what trousers. They're cute, they're useful. They were just right at the time.
I used to ask the question to my mum, how do you go to the toilet in a jumpsuit?
Oh my God, yeah, how did I go to the toilet? Because I didn't have a zip.
And she used to say with difficulty.
Getting your knickers caught in the zip.
Oh, I used to wet myself.
Make sure you keep your foot on the door. Don't let anybody in.
I didn't take part in the boiler suit, but I am aware of it because I've seen it on Top of the Pops.
Sheena Easton!
Back in the early 80s, we didn't have stylists. You were working your ass off to, like, you know, do whatever you had to do, and you had to go down the high street and pick out an outfit. I had no taste. Nowadays, I rely on stylists to look at me and go, are you going to go out in that? Well, go ahead. Go out in it, but I don't think so. Is a modern girl. Na, na, na. My voice sounds terrible.
This is becoming beyond a joke now.
In the 1950s, you had Esquire magazine. In the 1960s, Playboy. And in the 70s, Rolling Stone. Each defining its own generation. And in 1980, The Face magazine was launched. A little substance, a lot of style.
I was looking at the black and white world.
Before The Face of the World was in black and white, in many senses, it was still 1950s Pathé News.
The NME, the Melody Maker, the Sounds, you know, all the black and white music papers, they ruled the roost, really.
There were no magazines. There were Cosmo and a couple of women's magazines. No magazines for men. There were no magazines for music or youth fashion.
Too much too young.
I remember the first issue of The Face coming out May 1980, and I just thought it was the best magazine I'd ever seen, because there'd been nothing like that in England before. It was kind of glossy and colourful, but dealt with youth culture. Think about things like the specials and two-tone. It was dead important what you wore to go to those concerts. And even though people like NME covered the music really well, they didn't cover the clothes and the style side of it. And The Face did from the start.
The specials had gone to Paris, and we were just taking pictures, and Jerry came up from downstairs and looked up at the camera, and we took a picture, and for some strange reason, Nick put it on the cover. We tried to show you that there were other people that thought the same as you, and if you were out there, you know, buy the magazine.
I mean, style used to be something that French people did. It just wasn't. It wasn't in the English dictionary, I don't think. There was a big gap, you know, under STY. There wasn't anything.
Just finding early issues of it, it was amazing. It means I don't have to
staying in the suburbs all my life. It means there is life beyond the suburbs.
He's edited the New Musical Express and then started a best-selling pop magazine, Smash Hits, and now is the proud father of what other magazines call the barometer of pop style. The magazine's called The Face, and his name is Nick Logan.
Nick Logan was brilliant at his job. He's the one who'd employed Burchell and Parsons on the NME. He had a great eye for young writers and photographers and stylists.
I'm trying to produce the best magazine that there's ever been.
We were out there, you know, going to see loads of bands, you know, going to loads of clubs, and he just pulled us in one day and said, listen, I want you to write for the magazine.
He said, I think your magazine's brilliant, but it would be even better if it had me, and I work for the NME over there. Within about 6 months, I was like an editor, and this thing was being called the Bible.
If people read that as a barometer of style, then, you know, that's something beyond me. I mean, that suggests that our ideas are working.
I suppose in a way, you know, The Face was a style Bible.
It was a Bible written by 3 people sitting in an upstairs room saying, right, what should we make trendy this week?
This is the trendiest place in the trendiest city in a very trendy world.
There wasn't, you know, a magazine that could really do that mix of bands justice, where you could have Joy Division, The Jam, The Human League.
They were the first people to cover Spandau, the first people to put Boy George in there, the first people to put Sade anywhere in a magazine.
I remember Sade being on the cover before she'd even released a record. I remember Nena Cherry being on the front cover of The Face. I remember when Soul to Soul were on the front cover of The Face, and that being really exciting.
Time and time and time again, they got the things that were about to become internationally enormous. They got them just as they were being born, because they were written by the people who were giving birth to them.
I think if we hadn't had The Face, 1984 would have happened, and it would all have got doom and gloom, and everything would have shut down, and there would be no rest of the world.
Help me out here, will you? It's the strangest thing. They're telling me that in 1980, there was an Olympics in Moscow, and the United States didn't win one single medal. Huh. That's a joke, right?
One way to bring home to the Russian people the enormity of what has happened by their government invading Afghanistan is to boycott the Olympic Games.
Before Thatcher starts knocking the Russians, right, she should put her own house in order.
The United States does not wish to be represented in a host country that is invading another nation.
We were being asked to boycott the Olympic Games and stop talking sport.
People have been training for months. I don't see why it should all be put off just like that because of a political affair.
The majority of the British people were very keen for us to actually go. And most people would say, you've done all this hard work, you know, get in there and compete. Competition and sport is not political.
Mrs. Thatcher told Sir Dennis Follows today that without America and West Germany and Moscow, the Olympic medals won there would be inferior in terms of athletic achievement.
It was a dilemma for swimmer Duncan Goodhue. The Moscow Games were his last chance for an Olympic medal.
The issue was, did I feel right about going, rather than other people's opinions?
A guaranteed time for the Moscow Olympic Games by Duncan Goodhue. What a swim!
I like Duncan Goodhue.
He was brilliant.
Man's bald, very obviously, can't help it.
Today, Olympic swimmers, they shave their body and their heads to gain that extra bit of speed.
Duncan Goodhue got there first. That was the point.
I lost my hair when I fell 18 feet out of a tree. About 8 months after the accident, all my hair fell out.
Because he was bald and because he was dyslexic and because he worked so darn hard for everything he'd achieved, I think we were all very proud of him.
The swimmers are the first members of Britain's Olympic team to turn their backs on all the hostility and to make the journey to Moscow.
I feel what I'm doing is right, standing up for the Olympic ideal. We all went very determined to do our very best and show that you know, we could compete under very awkward conditions.
Games without frontiers, war without tears.
Well, no doubt at all about the story of the day here in Moscow as far as Britain is concerned. The 100 metres breaststroke.
It was typical Olympic Games. You know, you get marshalled into a kind of holding tank. It's a teeny little room.
Games without frontiers, war without tears.
And there you are, the 8 fastest people in the world, and the most profound silence you've ever heard.
Games without frontiers, war without tears.
Duncan Goodhue now faces the biggest moment of his swimming career.
When you're up there on the blocks and the whole world's looking at you, you suddenly come up with this thing, can I be the best in the world? Is it me? Why me?
Away first time, and there's under 2 seconds separating these 8 swimmers. On either side, he has the yellow caps of the Soviet Union, Arseny Miskarov and Alexander Fedorovsky.
I'd had trouble in the heats of getting my timing right.
First to touch, in lane number 5 is Fedorovsky.
So it appeared that I wasn't doing very well.
29.74, the world record came off 29.6 seconds.
With 25 meters to go, I could feel somebody beside me.
Goodhue is now fighting back.
And I thought, if I don't do something right now,
Goodhue in lane number 4.
I'm not going to win.
Goodhue has come back marvellously.
And I heard this little voice in my head saying, and that's totally absurd.
Goodhue has a fraction of a lead. He's going to make the touch. It's a gold medal for Duncan Goodhue.
And they say when you drown, your whole life goes before your eyes. Well, in that case, I was drowning in my own emotions because my family, my friends, the people who'd backed me up, it was all there in that moment.
Goodhue signalling a great victory.
Brilliant, Duncan. Congratulations. Well done. Did you know you were second at halfway?
No, I didn't actually.
Tremendous swim coming back. Well done.
Okay, thank you very much indeed.
That was, to me, a coming together of everything. I started off bald and dyslexic, and things hadn't looked like they were going my way. And it was about, I suppose, mending me as a person.
The boy from Yapton in Sussex stands on top of the Olympic rostrum.
I suppose being bald, I was always pointed at and stared at. And suddenly I came back and everybody recognised me as that swimmer. You know, the first part of 1980 was a kind of blur because of the training. The second one was a blur because of the celebration.
If you're going for a laugh, let me see you. Come on, let me see you.
Game for a laugh, the show where the people are the stars.
It was such a positive thing and compared to the negative things I'd had throughout my life.
Oh my God.
And I enjoyed just a great time.
Feels like my husband's bald head.
On your marks, get set.
The fame that Duncan Goodhue found in the pool in 1980 was a long way from the experience of most teenagers.
In school, it's all about brains, how clever you are, and then suddenly when you go swimming, the whole hierarchy suddenly changes, because suddenly, all of a sudden, nah, that kid may be thick, but look at the way he swims.
You walked through a very shallow little paddling bit, didn't you, to wash off the verrucas before you got in?
It's very clever. What he did, the teacher, rather than saying, right, I want to look at your feet now, he said, right, something's going on outside. I want you to all kneel up against it on the bench and look outside. So we all kneeled on the bench and he just went along and looked at all our feet.
The thing that I remember the most about swimming lessons was having to do the life-saving certificates.
There was, you had your bronze survival.
I think you got that for basically being able to stand near some water without running away.
Your silver survival.
Get in the water and get out again.
And your gold survival.
This sorted out, yeah. Rolf Harris from Duncan Goodhue. 4 lengths front crawl, 4 lengths breaststroke, 4 lengths backstroke, pyjama bottoms, jump in.
Tread water in your pyjamas for about 15 minutes. And then they said, take your pyjama bottoms off and turn them into a float. Oh yeah, dead easy.
Presumably the pyjama bottoms thing is in case you're ever asleep in 50s style pyjamas and the boat you're on ditches in the middle of the North Sea, which is an unlikely eventuality, particularly for 14-year-olds. There was also throwing a big rubber brick in the bottom of the 6'6", jumping in and getting that, presumably in case you're involved in some terrible maritime bricklaying accident.
Even if you were lucky enough to fall in with your pyjamas on, and you could swim 20 lengths, it'd be foolish to try and dive down to the bottom of the sea and pick up a brick.
J.R. Ewing was really a good friend of mine. We were almost inseparable. Now, some people are saying a lot of bad things about old J.R., but let me tell you this, you don't get to the top without making a few enemies along the way. So what happened to him in 1980 was unacceptable. I mean it. Unacceptable.
J.R. Ewing, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Larry Hagman.
J.R. was the best bad guy.
Everyone loves someone that's really nasty.
I think J.R. was a hero, really. I don't know why.
He does all the things that are successful. He gets the women, he gets the money, he stabs his brother in the back, you know, all the fun things in life.
Are you ready?
We had finished all the shows that year, and the ratings were so good that CBS wanted 4 more shows. Well, we didn't have an ending for them, and they didn't have any answers.
We looked at each other and we said, what the hell do we do? I mean, we didn't have much time.
Who's there?
All of us talked all day long, endlessly, and ideas got tossed out, laughed out, you know.
No one knows who said it, but one of us said, why don't we shoot the son of a bitch?
The one where JR got shot, I'm sure I'm right in saying, was the most watched programme ever in America at that point. Ever. It was the most popular programme ever.
For some reason, it caught on to the American public and then the British public and all over the world that JR being shot was a big deal.
Weeks of waiting for Dallas fans have come to an end with the shooting of the villain of the series, J.R. Ewing.
Bang, that's it. And at that point, I think, everybody's sympathies really changed, though. You start to think, well, what are we going to watch if JR's dead? How can you have Dallas without JR? It'd be ridiculous.
Will you live?
Well, I tell you, they're going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble if I don't.
So then people started thinking, well, no, I really hope he is, and we've got to find the culprit.
Who done it?
I don't know who did it.
You must know.
I don't, I swear I don't.
They announced they were going to run this competition, and you had to write a scenario of who you thought had shot JR in 200 words. My mum's answer was that JR had set it up himself. If you look at the footage very closely, you can see Larry Hagman looks a lot fatter, and it was nothing to do with the amount he'd been eating. It was purely because he was wearing a bulletproof vest.
Leonora and Katie Gallantry were stars from the moment they landed at the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Someone came onto the plane and said, the Gallantry's on board, and we were taken off first, taken into Dallas in the stretch limo.
For the next 4 days, their lives were to change dramatically. By the end of the first day, there could have been few of Dallas's 1.5 million citizens who didn't know of the Gallantries of Crew. And many Americans had heard of them long before that through KAAM and Dick Hitt.
The radio station said that they'd been talking about us for weeks.
Minutes later, they were cheek to cheek with the stars. And then he arrived. The trip was complete.
Hello.
Very nice to meet
Mr. Hagman. It's charming. My mum was really pleased because she got a handbag looked after by JR's bodyguard, which she thought was wonderful. She was really quite touched about that.
And the daughter Katie. How you doing?
My daughter Katie.
Oh, very nice to meet you. You all dressed up in Western outfit, aren't you, huh?
Yeah. Winning the competition, I think quite a few people did think that was who'd shot JR. So when it came to November and all was revealed, we're like, well, hang on, that's not
That's not how it's supposed to happen. There's this woman in Cheshire who says it was the policeman did it.
So it's still not known who shot JR. At the betting shops, the supposedly dead Dusty, Sue Ellen's ex-lover, is the hot favourite at 6-4. Sue Ellen herself is 4-1, and JR's brother Bobby is quoted at 10-1.
Bobby was just too milquetoast, wasn't he? I mean, plus he was the man from Atlantis. Conflict of interest.
Was it Lucy Ewing?
Cliff Barnes.
Oh, Cliff Barnes, of course, Cliff Barnes.
I can't rely on anyone else to do what I have to do.
Of course, Sue Ellen.
But why?
Because she was a drunk, a chimp, and a whore.
You bastard.
3 months leading up to it, she was just drunk constantly.
I loved it when Sue Ellen was drunk. That was always my favourite. Oh, she was so great. She was such a great drunk.
I'm going to find him.
And she just used to go, I'll get you, JR.
When I find him, I'm going to kill him.
And then her mouth would start going like this. I go, JR, you'll never have that baby, JR.
Her whole face was moving the whole time. It's really quite frightening.
Because he's not going to put me back in that sanitarium ever again.
Wasn't that the most watched moment when they revealed, you know, that it was Sue Ellen, wasn't it? It wasn't Sue Ellen. Man, how quickly we forget.
The secret of who done it is contained in videotape brought into Heathrow Airport by an American security guard. It'll be kept at a secret location overnight and won't be given to the BBC until tomorrow morning.
Oh my God, who did shoot JR?
In the end, you know, we all shot JR, didn't we?
I think we were all surprised, actually.
Sue Ellen's sister shot JR. Comprehension.
Was it Kristen, Sue Ellen's sister?
I have finally figured everything out. It was you, Kristen, who shot JR. You're crazy.
That gorgeous bird with that big wide mouth. How could she have done it?
People loved to see JR get his comeuppance. And I think they liked that I did it.
Why, Kristen?
I wouldn't do that if I were you, JR.
She had the best incentive for shooting me, I suppose.
Not unless you want your child born in prison.
I had my wife's sister knocked up, and she shot me. So, I mean, that was a pretty good idea.
My favorite comment of all was from a lovely little English lady. And she said, why didn't you shoot lower?
Hey, you guys really know how to have a great time. So stick around, because the best is yet to come. And go get your leg warmers, because the movie Fame is coming right up. Hey, 1980 is over, but don't despair. Next week, it's 1981.